The midlife crisis in corporate terms looks a little bit like the kind of midlife crisis you might see in an individual. So for a corporation, the equivalent of rushing out and buying a red Ferrari might be a spurt of wild diversification. Or for a corporation, the equivalent of settling down to that grim middle age might be relentless focus on the core and the suppression of innovation as distractions. So our question was, why do some organisations, under very similar conditions to others, succumb to the midlife crisis, whereas others seem to be able to continue renewing themselves? Our insight was that you're as mature as you allow yourself to become. There's a fallacy to our mind, which is the fallacy that all corporations are doomed to go through some kind of life cycle, rather like the kind of life cycle that human beings go through. But we believe it doesn't have to be like that. And the reason why we believe it doesn't have to be like that is that companies don't go through life cycles. The way to avoid a midlife crisis is first of all clarity. You're as mature as you've allowed your opportunity portfolio to become. Secondly, the way to avoid a midlife crisis is to ask the question, what are the pathologies that are revealed by mapping my opportunity portfolio? Once you've mapped your portfolio of opportunities, the obvious question is, what are you going to do about it? And that may require a degree of ruthlessness. You may find, for instance, as Jim McNerney did when he took on 3M, that 1,000 flowers blossoming philosophy had meant that there were many subscale initiatives. What are you going to do about them? Each one of those initiatives is someone's baby, but there's a time when, as a responsible leader, you've got to say it's an ugly baby. And the final question that you'll need to address in order to avoid the midlife crisis is, how do we manage the old and the new in a distinctive, appropriate manner? So we see corporations as collections or pipelines of opportunities. And the critical question is this: what have you allowed happen to your portfolio or pipeline of opportunities? Because it's what you did or didn't do with that portfolio of opportunities that will determine how mature you become.